Is America by majority experiencing a mass psychosis of some sort? I'm Dr. Mac, and this is Off the Plantation, the journey towards freedom. And in this episode, we're gonna really take a look at this question because you have to think something very very strange is going on that we can't anticipate, we can't explain. It seems demented in a lot of ways. It's like what is going on with our thought processes, our critical thinking, when it relates to religious freedom, when it relates to our economic policy, our money in the bank, when it relates to just life in general as an American. Here's where I'm going with this. According to recent statistics, over 60% of people live paycheck to paycheck, and they don't even have $1,000 in the bank. Okay. According to recent statistics, the overwhelming majority believe that we should have religious freedom, unfettered religious freedom in America. According to recent statistics, everybody in America believes that we should have free speech rights. Okay. Let's just take those three as our sort of data points we're going to focus in on. And we use those as examples of what's going on right now. So, with everybody in America being, or a lot of people in America being paycheck to paycheck, let's say 60% or some 50 to 60%, paycheck to paycheck, less than $1,000 in the bank. When you are, confronted with, hey, we're finding waste, fraud, and abuse in our government, and we can actually give you some money back, up to $5,000 or 20% or whatever the percentage is, because you're hard paying, you're hardworking taxpayer in America, and you deserve to get, some kind of credit back if we're going to find all this waste, fraud, and abuse that we use with your money in good faith that you gave to us as the federal government, and we squandered it. With Argentinian monkey trials and Sesame Street in Iraq and whatever. Trying to trans different animals to see the results. With hormones and whatever. It's mind blowing how many ways that we've squandered your taxpayer money. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you your money back, and it would be foolish for somebody who's living paycheck to paycheck and only $1,000 a month say, "Oh, I don't want that $5,000." No, I don't want, because I don't like the president, and I don't like Elon Musk. But yet, that's the message that's being sent by leftist progressive Democrats. That's the message that they're having town halls, and they're rejecting. No, we don't need Doge. We don't want to save any money. The government was fine just as it was. Let's take the other one. Religious freedoms. Now, we had 85-year-old grandmothers who just went and prayed, on the outside of clinics. Didn't impose or prevent anybody from going into the clinics, but they just prayed outside the clinics, and they were arrested and thrown in jail or prison in the past administration. That is, definitely a rejection of religious freedom here in America. And, we have people that actually want to go back to that. While they're saying that they want religious freedom, they want to go back to that. Again, I'm trying to point to a psychosis so we can understand what's happening. Then we have people who say, I want unfettered free speech, but they demand that we actually control speech, that we actually censor Americans and censor what's said. And this idea that, we should have these free and open platforms that allow free speech is just un-American. Again, leftist progressive Democrats are saying this. So what I'm trying to point to is these are completely hypocritical, antithetical, duplicitous with what they say that they stand for. And that means that there's some kind of underlying psychosis. So let's break it down. I know what the psychosis is, and I want to see if you agree with me. The psychosis is Stockholm Syndrome. Stockholm Syndrome is when you're so closely associated with something, your captor, somebody who's captured you, captivated you, or you're enamored with. You so closely associated with them because you've been with them for long periods of time. You've been introduced to them, and you just love them. You respect and adore them, even though they're abusing you. You'll stay with them. You'll reconcile within your own mind a way that still that way is better. And so the reality is is we do have a mass mental illness, psychosis going on right now in America, Stockholm Syndrome, for the overwhelming majority of leftist progressive Democrats. That demand that we go back to the Joe Biden days. That demand that everything that we're doing right now is not in the best interest of America. That demand that we cease and desist from any Doge, any more Doge investigations in all these departments where we're finding hundreds of billions of dollars in malfeasance, waste, fraud, and abuse of our taxpayer money. And they don't want any of that back. The only an irrational, diabolical, demented, and mentally incapacitated person would go for that. Now, I'm saying this with all due compassion to those who are in that condition because I understand they don't even see it. But they do have Stockholm Syndrome, and we that see it, we should have compassion on them and help them to get help. Encourage them to seek help. That's how we do it. We could try to bring these things to light, but the reality is they're so smitten by ideology that it's going to be hard for us individually to break through on this issue. So we really need to encourage our friends and family members, community members who are just so antagonistic to what's happening right now and the sort of reorganization of how we do, America and American politics and how we take care of each and every American citizen. People who are completely resistant to that after seeing all the good things that have come out of this White House so far. Hostages home, a lot of wars wanting to end, wanting to come to the table, recouping hundreds of billions of dollars from that we spent on Ukraine, all kinds of things that have happened, stopping to manipulating and destroying the minds of our children with trans and sex ideologies. Those types of things are huge. And these are huge advances forward for America. And we should all embrace that, not reject it. A critical thinking person that has the mental capacities that are objective and that can think through and see the positive in it, irrespective of the individuals, Elon or President Trump or whatever, they would see through that. But a person that has a mental psychosis that they're really stricken with, like Stockholm Syndrome, they won't see it. So how do you recognize them? You just see how fervently they are about wanting to hold on to the Biden-Obama days and reject what's happening right now. And then we can encourage them, look, you really need to seek help. That's the only solution I see. Let's recognize Stockholm Syndrome. It's a horrible thing. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. And we should all be concerned about people who are mentally incapacitated at the present time. We should pray for them and help them to seek help. Anyway, make sure you join here for the next segment of Off the Plantation, A Journey Towards Freedom. I'm Dr. Mack. See you next time.